When you asked if we had tried other things, we have tried recruiting for several different industries, different sizes of businesses, and we've found that we really have two ideal client profiles, basically. We've tried a few companies that wanted people that were more entry level and just weren't really a good fit for our audience. So a lot of it comes down to really knowing who is in our audience. We are the community for veterans in business, and
Mm-hmm.
with that, there's a certain type of people that are following the page and paying attention to everything we're putting out. And our average follower usually looks like a former military officer. Not always. We see enlisted folks do very well. Also, this is something we talk about all the time, that on the tail end, it kind of like a bell curve distribution of enlisted folks. The far right portion, those folks actually, I think, outperform most officers, I think. Like the highest functioning enlisted folks, I think, are better than most officers oftentimes. But anyways, most of our followers, I think, are, typically former military officers, did between 5 and 10 years in the military. Then they got out, usually got an MBA or another advanced degree, and then have worked for 2 or 3 years, and they're trying to kind of figure out the next thing. And coincidentally, those are also the hardest, people for companies to find. It's easy for companies to find somebody coming right out of an MBA program. They can do on-campus recruiting. They can go to the school, they can talk to people there. It's hard for companies to find people, like for an FP&A role that we've done a few placements. It's hard to find folks that have been a banker for 2 or 3 years. It's hard to find those people. And talking about our business model, like one of the reasons we're successful is because we can move so much faster than a typical recruiting agency. Like Wyatt was saying, we don't have an army of people sending cold LinkedIn DMs, right? All of our efforts are supported by our community. And so we're able to move much faster. And we have such high trust that when we publish a job or something, people are really paying attention to what we're publishing, and they know that it's going to be a good company, a good role for them. So there's just a lot less friction, and we get a lot of people that apply, and we usually have to kind of like beat people away with a stick. We get too many applicants for roles. So we're trying to like find who are the best top 4 or 5 guys or gals that we can submit to that company. So kind of long-winded answer, and I realize I got off track, but we have found through all this trial and error and now doing it for over 2 years now and recruiting for more than 30 companies, that kind of our best fit clients for now are defense tech startups, and then also private equity firms
Yep.
that have blue collar or manufacturing or some kind of more blue collar type portfolio companies that they're rolling up, like HVAC companies, roofing companies, plumbing companies, electrical, things like that. We're finding them leaders for those businesses. And then also for the defense tech companies, finding them ops folks, finding them go to market folks, also done technical roles. We've kind of done everything. The reason we are such a good fit for defense tech specifically is because we understand clearances. A lot of the folks in our audience have clearances and speak the language and understand the pain points of the end users. And also, because we have such a big network, then we can find folks quickly. We're just like a perfect fit for these startups where they've gotten to the point where they've raised a lot of money.
Yeah.
They've started to find some product market fit. They started to get some traction, but they've kind of expanded beyond their personal networks, but they still need to find people, and they have raised money. They need to pay these folks. They need to burn that money basically, and they need to grow the company as fast as possible. And so we can come in before they have like a robust talent team and before they have a big name and help them find folks to scale quickly.